Hello, my name is Jón Geir from the band Skálmöld from Iceland, and I'm here to answer a few questions for Johnny Drum. How did I discover drums? I don't know. I think I've always been, drumming on things. As a child, I made my mother completely mad because I was, banging on especially the kitchen chairs because they sounded good. They had like faux leather on them, so if you used a spoon or something like that, it sounded pretty good. But I was always denting them and ruining them, so they gave up and gave me a drum when I was 3. I just don't think I actually discovered drums. I think they discovered me in a way. It sounds a bit silly, but that's just how it is. It's just something I've always wanted to do. Iron Maiden. I think 1, 2, and 3 Iron Maiden. Especially Nickelback Brain. He is he's the drummer that kind of taught me that even if you're playing metal or rock and roll, you can still have fun. You don't have to be like, I'm playing metal, I'm being angry all the time. Because I can't do it. I really have to focus on trying to look mean or angry when I'm playing drums. And I don't, my mind is not thinking of other things while I'm playing. So yeah, he taught me you can be yourself, you can have fun, you can smile, Even though you're playing hard music. And when I started playing drums, I had an old vinyl player, because it's quite a long time ago. And the first thing I did when I got my first drum kit is I put Number of the Beast on and tried to play The Prisoner. And when you started, your right hand and your right leg kind of want to do the same thing all the time. So playing bam, ka, bam, bam, ba was completely impossible. But the vinyl player had 4 speeds, that normal 33, and it also had 16. So I could slow it down and try to figure out like bam, ba, And when I figured that out, I tried to put it into normal speed again. So Iron Maiden has, probably been the biggest influence. Metallica, of course. Say what you want about Lars Ulrich, but I don't think any drummer has. He's like Ringo for our generation. He is the drummer that made people want to play drums. But yeah, that's probably the main thing. But I've always played all kinds of music, and I really don't want to kind of get stuck in like one genre, so my influences are everything I hear. I try to learn something new. If it's pop music or jazz or whatever, because that's kind of the way you can grow, as a musician. Just like try to listen to things that you've never even thought about listening to. it makes a difference. So, yeah. I met the other guys in the group. Me and Thráinn, the guitar player, had been playing together in bands for some years, and the rest of them I met working in a theater group, basically. We did music together for children's television and stuff like that. I've never met Bubby, the singer, before we started the band, but Snæbjörn, the bass player, and Bubby, who have been best friends since like they were 8 or something, they always wanted to, because we all listened to metal, especially when we were teenagers, and they wanted to form a metal band. Snæbjörn has this idea of making a metal band based on like Icelandic mythology and stuff like that. And it was basically, he called people that he knew and people he knew would be able to play that kind of music. So I just got a phone call that basically said, yeah, you're in a band. Okay, good. And we were supposed to originally just meet up once a week, jam, have fun, and maybe make one album so we could just kind of like tick that off our list. Like, yeah, when we're old, we can like take that from the shelf, like, yeah, I made a heavy metal album. And then it kind of exploded in our faces, and 12 years later, we're in Belgium, which is, it's kind of, it's insane. And I'm so surprised still seeing people showing up all over the world trying to sing our lyrics, because of course they're in Icelandic, and not many people actually know them, but people try, and it's great. Why did I choose Animal as my totem? Well, for quite obvious reasons. Animal, I mentioned Nico McBrain as my main influence, but Animal was the first drummer I saw that I looked at like, I want to be like him, which is crazy because he's an animal. But there's something, I mean, the drummer who plays for Animal is amazing. It's really great drumming, and he is a lot of fun. And when we started playing in Skálmöld, I kind of had to tap into like his mentality, because I've been playing in like pop bands and some like ambient stuff and not metal or rock or anything for probably 10 years. So I kind of had to, listen to a lot of metal that was new at the time and going, oh my God, these guys are playing fast. I can't do that. But somehow tapping into like that Animal mentality kind of helped me through it. And I even have him right here. And yeah, he's my muse in so many ways. Especially on stage. I kind of leave him on stage, but yeah, he is kind of what I try to be on stage. A Muppet. Yeah. Playing live it's the best thing I do. There is no place I have more fun than when I'm playing music, especially playing with Skullmelt. I mean, these are 5 of my best friends, been together, the same 6 people for all the 12 years, and it's very special. But it doesn't really matter if I'm playing metal or if I'm playing pop music or Schlager or whatever. I really love making music and playing music, and this is, even if I'm feeling down or tired as you can get, like now we've been on tour. This is day 36 in a row, and there are days where you just like wake up in a bus and go, oh, I want to go home. But as soon as the intro starts and you go on stage, everything just disappears. There is no space for anything but just joy. And yeah, it means a lot to me. So I really love doing what I do. The concert we did with the Symphony Orchestra, especially the first time around, 2013, was completely different from anything we've ever done before. And I actually don't remember much, because we were just in awe the whole time. And it's probably one of the few things that I can still watch and actually watch it like quite regularly, because it doesn't really feel like something that we were doing, because we were just like a tiny little speck surrounded by 300 people who are all immensely talented, and everybody playing stuff that we didn't write, in a way. I mean, the arrangements were really brilliant. So it was just euphoria, and yeah, it's still kind of unreal, and I can still look at it and go, oh wow, that's kind of cool, because it doesn't feel like just our gig. We were just a part of something way bigger than we've ever done before. But the thing I remember the most, that we tried to be really, really prepared, because we did not want to walk in with all those world-class musicians and be like, here comes the metal band that doesn't even read charts. So we prepared really well, and I think that helped the project a lot, because they never had to stop on our account. And I think just after the first 2 rehearsals, you could feel that there was already a mutual respect, if you will, which is not, you should not really take for granted, because classical musicians sometimes look down on especially like rock bands, and rock bands go like, oh, you have to read charts too. But there was nothing like that. It was completely a team effort, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I hope we do it again sometimes, but it takes time to plan these things, so it's probably in a few years, I hope. I don't know. I hope so.
Takk fyrir okkur, Eldborg. Við sjáumst í næsta stríði.
Yeah, sure. If they want to, then yeah. I'm not really into forcing kids to learn instruments because that's probably the worst thing you can do. You have to kind of discover it yourself and discover the passion for it yourself. And because it has to be fun. You know, rehearsing and learning the instrument must be fun. It must be something that you want to do. But if there's always somebody standing behind you telling you, oh, you should play it like this, and you should do that, and you should, I mean, then you lose interest really, really fast. But if my children want to play this instrument or that instrument, yeah, I'll be there. But I'm not gonna tell them to. I mean, that's something you have to do. Because that's the most important things when you're playing any instrument, not just drums, is if it stops being fun, you're not gonna make progress. Because you're just gonna hit a wall, going like, oh, I don't feel like doing this anymore. And that's why a lot of kids drop out of like music schools, because it's more pressure than fun. And it should be fun. That's like the most important thing about music. We're good.